Welcome to the 2024-25 school year. As we enter this new year of teaching and learning, we want to bring you up to speed on the changes that you'll experience with Iowa's AEAs. First, we'll recap what AEAs do, why they were created, and differences you'll notice going forward. Iowa has 9 AEAs that began service in 1975. They were established by the Iowa legislature to provide equitable and efficient service to all public school districts and accredited non-public schools in the state of Iowa. AEAs provide services to children, families, educators, and schools to maximize outcomes for all learners. Services are provided in 3 broad areas: educational services, media, and special education. Since their beginning, AEAs have operated as economy of scale organizations to ensure equity of services for school districts of all sizes across the state. Legislation passed during the 2024 legislative session has ushered AEAs into a new era. Many services that have been offered at no cost to districts will now have a fee. The formula that generates funding for AEAs will continue, but with some changes. Prior to the 2024-25 school year, 100% of special education, educational services, and media funding that was generated went to AEAs. For 2024-25, 60% of educational services and media funding will go to districts, and 40% will go to the AEAs. 100% of special education funding will stay with the AEAs. Let's look first at educational services. Prior to this year, educational services funding paid for staff and services such as school improvement consultants, curriculum consultants, and social, emotional, and behavioral consultants. With their allocation of the educational services funding, districts will now receive a choice of services from the AEA portfolio of services. They will use their 40% allocation and then will be billed for services beyond that amount. This will now be called service for fee. They will also receive critical incident response support for the first 48 hours of a critical incident their district experiences. Speaking of the portfolio of services, it outlines the services AEAs have available to districts. From specialized professional learning to personalized consultation and coaching, AEAs will ensure districts receive the tailored support they need to meet their needs. When it comes to the services provided in the educational services area, you will notice things that haven't changed and some that have. What hasn't changed is our focus on customer satisfaction, student achievement, and building and maintaining relationships with educators. A few things that will change are that consultant time will now be authorized by a decision maker in the district as part of an overall district service plan. The authorized decision maker will work with the district's AEA regional director or administrator to secure services. In the area of educational services fees, what hasn't changed is that no fees will be assessed if a request is for services that relate to implementing a student's IEP, is within the roles and responsibilities of special education personnel, and can be provided by staffing allocations to the district or as part of an IDEA DA required SDI package. You'll notice that going forward, educational services staff will be contracted in full-day or half-day increments, and fees will be based on the service provided, not the staff member providing them. What hasn't changed in the professional learning arena is that high-quality professional learning with participant-only, license renewal, or graduate credit courses will continue. Substitute authorization, paraeducator courses, and mandatory trainings will all continue to be offered. Some things you'll notice that have changed around professional learning are a new course fee structure, and that a minimum or maximum number of participants may be required for specific courses. Even though our course fees have increased, AEAs remain an affordable provider for educator professional learning. In the area of media services funding, this funding supports library services, creative services, van delivery, technology infrastructure, and instructional technology. In terms of media services, educators will continue to have access to 20 digital resources, unlimited checkouts from the AEA library delivered by weekly van delivery, and creative services. You will see changes around Pear Deck and Seesaw, and professional learning around topics such as library resources, digital learning, and computer science will now come with a fee. Per legislation, you will also see a modest price increase for printing, laminating, graphic design, and other creative services. Our last area of services is special education. This area of funding pays for services and materials related to the provision of special education and early access. Evaluations and services are conducted by professionals such as audiologists, physical therapists, school psychologists, and special education consultants. In this service area, you will find our staff still prioritizing customer service, student achievement, and building and maintaining relationships. What you may find different is fewer special education staff because of legislative deappropriations, the AEA's inability to backfill special education deficits, and assignment modifications. As far as implementing IDEA, AEA staff will continue to support administrative teams with questions regarding the implementation of IDEA. You will notice that the Family and Educator Partnership role has moved to the Ask Resource Center, which has been awarded the grant from the Iowa Department of Education to carry out this work. In the area of fees, what hasn't changed is that no fees will be assessed if the request for service relates to implementing a student's IEP. You may see that some services that are not required but have been previously provided may carry a fee. These services may include professional learning focused on program improvements and increased skills for teachers. As always, you'll see that our special education staff will provide high-quality support services as outlined in student IEPs, will participate in Child Find activities, and will support teachers to improve student learning and address the achievement gap. We also want you to know that AEAs are awaiting further guidance from the Iowa Department of Education regarding the expectations and roles of our AEA service providers. A few other key changes we want you to be aware of are that each district will have a designee determined by the superintendent who can authorize services for a fee on behalf of the district. And as legislated, AEAs will provide districts with quarterly reports on services provided, including cost information in each funding stream. We know that was a lot of information. To wrap up, remember, each district will follow its own process to request services for a fee. Your building principal will share your district's process with you, so you know how to make inquiries about AEA services, and even though things are a bit different, AEAs remain committed to serving families, students, and educators. Remember, we want to continue to be your partner in helping all children succeed.